so it's actually nice and clean today. And of course, it got stuck to my sink. My stainless steel sink is not stainless steel.
Oh.
So
needed a bit of elbow grease to get them off, eh?
yeah, no, they don't like to come off when they stick to the magnet sticks. It's crazy how strong that magnet is, though. You know, but so do we want to let everybody know what we're doing today? Kind of show the process of how to actually install one.
So thanks. So thanks everybody for joining. So we'll just be running through the setup and the benefits of using our MagnaCleanse flushing unit. And if you've not heard of it before or you're not sure what it is, it's a flushing device, cleaning and flushing device for hydronic systems. So it works as a bypass. It connects up to any of our filters, and George will show you how to do that. And yeah, you can essentially leave the system switched on whilst you're cleaning and flushing the system. You can dose this unit with cleaner, and that will remain concentrated, which will get you a better clean because the system water is still hot. So here George is just removing our he's all prepared.
So this is my system.
So this is the Pro 2, which comes with 3/4 inch compression and 1 inch NPT fittings. So ideal for boilers up to 150,000 BTU. The filter itself is bi-directional, which gives you a bit more flexibility there. And you'll notice that George was showing the plastic sleeve then. Do you just want to pick that up again, George?
Yep, hold on, I'm just grab a bucket. So I'll make a mess of my floor.
Yeah, so the sleeve here, the idea is that rather than the magnetite sticking directly to the magnet, you've got the sleeve there so you can just rinse it off in the sink. So it's much easier to clean. If anybody didn't know, our filter was actually prototyped and designed by a contractor himself back in the UK in 2003. He was actually working on a job site one day, was coming across a lot of the black sludge, black water, and dropped his keys and realised it was magnetic, and he actually designed the prototype in his garden shed. His name was Chris Ade, so that's why we are called Ade, and it's not Ade. It's
so,
Ade.
At my house,
go ahead.
I have most of my house is all radiant. I have one cast iron radiator. I have a steel boiler, some cast iron pumps, and that was just from the system that's not that dirty. It's all PEX too, so it still picks up no matter what. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
when was the last time you checked that filter?
June.
Okay, so
June?
yeah, I mean, you still had a bit of magnetite on there. So for a radiant system, and you'd already done like a full clean, and you know you've had the magnet on since then. It just goes to show that it doesn't take a lot of metal in the system to start producing that, and this is why we talk about needing magnets permanently. We kind of can't just use them for servicing purposes and take it off. It's vital that we continuously capture this damaging stuff.
I want to ask you,
as I said,
what are these for? The ones in the middle. These here. I know these are. This one.
They're not for the micro, are they?
Maybe. I've never seen that one, so maybe that's what it's for. So I've never installed that one. Okay. I've never installed that one, so that's probably what it's for. Okay. So.
So yeah, George is going to show you how to connect the MagnaCleanse up to his filter valves. So you just want to get, oh yeah, you got the kit out there, didn't you, George? So
Yes,
the MagnaCleanse comes with a blue box, which has all of the adapter fittings in. So depending on what size filter you want to connect up to, you just choose the fittings for that. So George is using these John Guest fittings here, which connect directly to the Pro 2 valves.
it has an O-ring, so you don't have to kill it. Just snug it up. That's it. It's got an O-ring inside. So
yeah. Now this metal piece here in the middle just ensures that you're not, fiddling around too much. It gives you kind of the exact distance of what the filter valves are. So George is just gonna take the Pro 2 off the valves now. The great thing with our filters is that they are 360-degree rotational isolation valves. So you can actually service our filters with the system switched on, because it comes with its own built-in isolation valves, and the 360-degree just ensures that you can control the filter with pipe coming in at any angle. So George is just draining here.
Nice thing about this one here is you actually has a little clip. Just squeeze the clip, and it comes right off. Yeah, you don't have to sit there and stumble with it. That's it.
There you go, nice and easy.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes life a lot real easy. So now this just pushes right on. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, actually dirty.
By the way, guys, if you've got any questions along the way, whether it's to do with the install or the filters or the benefits of this unit, just pop them in the chat. I can type it. I might have missed it, but what are we filtering out with? Okay, so yeah, we're capturing iron oxide, also known as magnetite. It's a result of oxidation inside an untreated hydronic system. So we find this in hydronic heating, chiller, steam systems. Essentially, you might see it as, it looks like metal filings, or you may see black water or black sludge. When corrosion begins to occur in a system, it might not actually be visible to us. That the water still might look clean, but over time it will start to look an orangey, kind of irony colour. Once the air is removed from that system, whether that's through a pipe that has corroded due to the corrosion occurring in the system, or there might be air pockets in that system, or there might be an air vent that's maybe been installed slightly off. As the air is removed from that system, it then forms this magnetite, which is iron oxide, and it can be really damaging to system components. So it will lie in the bottom of heat emitters and cause cold spots and blockages. It will, especially with all high efficiency equipment now being smaller,
and plate exchangers.
Yeah, heat exchangers.
And I have one on my boiler too, so that's why I have this, just protect my plate exchanger. So
yeah, exactly. So it will start to collate in the heat exchangers, causing them to overwork, and they will eventually crack or block. And also, we need to protect ECM pumps these days, because they do actually have tiny magnets in them, which attract, or the magnetite is attracted to them, and that's how you get some fouled pumps. And it will also wear away pump seals as well. So the reason for this tonight is to kind of explain the cleaning stage. So this is really a servicing tool, isn't it, George? So
yes,
you can either
usually
go
when I put
into
the
the
boiler out.
home.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
You can go into the home and you can clean and flush at the same time. So this is kind of what we're showing you tonight. And the idea is that you leave the magnetic filters on permanently, and you dose the system with inhibitor to ensure that that system is fully protected.
So
there's our inhibitor.
This system already has inhibitor already. I did the cleaning. I did the MC3. I think when I first installed it. So
nice.
Okay. Now again, non-directional. Same thing. Doesn't matter which way it is. Make it as easy as possible. So
yeah,
it's funny. I still always think which way, but I realize it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. So George has put that connection on now, which allows us to attach the MagnaCleanse hose to the filter valves. You'll notice here that the hoses are transparent. That's to allow you to be able to tell when the system water is clean from magnetite. The unit itself contains 2 large magnets, so it captures the magnetite as it's being flushed around the system. How often do you have to hook this up to your system, George?
My system actually is the first time I'm doing it on my house. So I haven't done it in my house because it wasn't really that bad. But if I have a customer that's really bad, after I do the initial flush, I just come back and check the magnet every year. That's it. So this is usually, I usually do just once unless it's really bad and I come back and it's really bad, then I put it back on again. So, and I usually let it run for about four hours. So. Okay.
So the idea with this, it's really to get the first pass capture. So you're cleaning and flushing the system, you're installing the filter. You can then use that as an opportunity to go back into the home annually to service the filter and top up the inhibitor. 12. Will this video be on YouTube? Yes, I'm going to save this, and we will add it to our YouTube. We'll also add it as a highlight on our Instagram page. We do add these types of videos on our website as well. So yeah, if you must be following us on Instagram, so just keep updated that way, I would say.
Sorry, I'm looking for a flathead screwdriver. Unprepared. That's all right.
So
I'll have to leave it at that. So.
In case you've not used cleaner before, what this does is it actually lifts scale and sludge from any metal surfaces. You can leave it in the system for 28 days. It's the only cleaner in the market where you can leave it in the system for so long because it actually contains a small amount of inhibitor, so it'll actually protect those components as it's cleaning, and it gives you more flexibility. So you can go into a home, quickly clean the system there and then, and come back in a couple of weeks to do the rest. Could you just leave it on the system permanently? No, we advise not to leave this on because it's a running system and it's a bypass.
But this stays on.
The filter stays on, not the MagnaCleanse unit. So the MagnaCleanse is really purposely for servicing. For safety purposes, you shouldn't really flush the system without monitoring it. So Viking pipe fitter, it's actually a good revenue stream. I know, George, do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, definitely. So usually, I don't know if you guys see my videos. Let me just make sure everything's full. Hold on. There's a lot of air in it.
Okay.
If you see my videos, I purge with a bucket. So I throw the little test strip in the bucket, and I show the customers how much metal's in the system. And that's usually when I install one. And what does it? My install is 3 trips. Install, I dose it. I come back and I flush it and put the MC1. Then I come back for a 3rd trip and test water quality and check to see how dirty it is again. So I sell it as a 3-trip process.
Okay.
and it does work. I mean, I have some that are really bad, and it actually cleans the system pretty good. There's one I probably have to go back for a fourth trip because it's still so bad, but it's definitely every boiler I put in has one. I don't even give a customer an option. So for starters, it makes it easy for me to add this. I pour it right into the filter once I drain the filter out. I basically pour the bottle into the filter. Now it's a way for me dosing the MC1 to the system, so it makes it a lot easier. So
yeah, exactly. And how, in terms of the cost of the flushing unit, George, how many jobs do you have to do to get your return on investment?
One.
Just one.
One job.
Okay.
One job covers it. I think.
So this is what we're saying.
I think they're. I think it's what, 900 US. I can't remember. I have to look it up. I don't remember what it was. But my flushes are more than that because it's time consuming. So it covers it in the first job. The first job will cover the expense of the equipment, and usually chemical, and maybe even adding a filter. So it actually sorry, move my camera. So it basically pays for itself the first job, and does a beautiful job for the customer. So
yeah, and do you know what I've heard before of guys and girls in the field saying, well, if I put that straight in the quote, the homeowner after questions it and asks to take it out. Well, actually, if they're questioning it, it's the perfect opportunity for you to sit down with them and educate them.
Yep.
And you know what? If they don't opt for it the first time round, chances are is that, especially in a high efficient system, whether it's 2 or 5 years down the line, that system is going to run into issues because of corrosion. And they'll come back to you because you're the one that explained that in the first place.
And
so
I don't get every single job. Yeah, I don't get every single job, but I do explain everything. I have my demo jar I bring it to customers. If I don't get that job, at least I educate them enough that the next guy comes in for them to ask the question and make sure they're getting apples for apples with the bids, because usually they're not. Every boiler I put in gets one. It doesn't matter what kind of boiler it is, unless it's a full cast iron boiler without anything to worry about. That's different. But every boiler I have has a plate exchanger, so every boiler gets one, just to protect my install and protect the customer's investment. So
yeah, it's kind of like when you buy a new car, would you take the oil out of the old one? And do you check the oil in that car? Of course you do, because you want to protect that expensive car that you've just bought. A boiler is the same. It's not cheap. A homeowner spent a lot of money on a boiler, so they want to make sure that's protected. A lot of the boiler manufacturers are now aware of corrosion happening in the system, and they're also advising and pushing on this now as well. So
if you look through one of the boilers, sorry, I know it's kind of delayed a little bit. I think if you look down to my story, I think I have a cast iron block that was voided warranty because it had magnetite in it. They voided the warranty on a 3-year-old boiler, a cast iron boiler, because the sections were block solid. And actually, the manual does say protect the system some way, and they didn't do it. So the customer now you have to go explain to the customer, you put a boiler 3 years ago that has no warranty because you didn't do the right thing for the install. So
yeah, exactly. And I think if you show the homeowner these warranties up front now, and they can see, oh yeah, actually it will be void if you don't do this, that is a good enough reason for them to say, okay, yeah, maybe we should protect this new boiler. George, I know you mentioned before about using a strip to test the water, and if anybody hasn't got one of these yet,
I didn't bring it down. Yep. Oh, that one, yes.
This is our rapid test stick, so it actually has a magnet on the end, so you can use this as a way of showing the homeowner if there's any magnetite in the system. So again, a great sales tool. I've already put in the comments our link to our newsletter, but I'll just do it again. If you sign up to there, we give you one of these, or you can get in touch with one of our local reps and they will sort you one out with those. All right.
So
where are we up to now?
I'm gonna explain how actually. So when I purge a board, I think I see how I purge boards. I use a bucket. I use 3 hoses and a transfer pump. I use the bucket to remove all the air. So that's where I throw the Magna in. So it's moving all the water through the system. So I can pull the Magna out anytime and show the customer. It's a lot easier than actually just purging to daylight. So, and it makes it, the customer can actually see how dirty the water is just by a white bucket, which was white, but
yeah.
you know. Yeah. My last white bucket had a hole in it, so I had to get that one in a rush. So they've got an aerosol can though. So system is running right now. I have it up and running.
Okay.
I think that's the MC1, the brown, right? I think it is.
Yeah.
So I think I put 2 bottles in this one. In the system.
Okay.
So
you've got that running through now. So typically, I mean, as George mentioned before, he's already cleaned and flushed his system just in June. But on a new system where magnetite is present, typically you'd see the magnetite circulating through these hoses, so you'll kind of see black water or particles in there. So you'll be able to tell when that system is clean, and you can then drain off. There's a drain point on the MagnaCleanse, and then you can just lift the magnets up and remove the magnetite, which George can show you once this is finished circulating.
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Actually, believe it or not, I usually it's always has enough air pocket where I can just lift it out. And it's still picking stuff up, you can see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so
still picking stuff up. Yeah. And we've only been running, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah. Do you ever do you ever use the agitator on that radiator that you've got?
No, it's just the one radiator in my bathroom. I should probably do that. Here's a second one.
Nice.
And there's little chunks on it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always like an air pocket in here, so I never really actually have an issue with just bleeding it out, draining it out. So.
Okay.
You know.
You can't.
It's only been running.
You can't see the full unit there, but it comes in its own carry case, so it all folds up. Oh, I might need to drop
That's it.
Yeah, so it all folds away and you can carry it around. It's really easy and transportable. It's pretty lightweight. And it also acts as a drip tray, so it prevents mess as well. Hi, Mohammed. Oh,
actually, I'll take it back out again.
Yeah.
I should have done it when I had it out the first time. If it's really dirty, which I've had some. Drip tray, look, it's leaking now.
There you go.
Now it's leaking. So
what, you know,
so the real dirty ones.
Yeah, real dirty ones, you can just scrape all of the magnetite off into a bucket.
Now I'm gonna have to clean it up.
So once you've done that, you would then isolate the valves on the filter again, and then just drain it down into a bucket.
What was your question? Sorry, I was looking.
So once you've done the whole circulating and you feel like the system is clean, you then just isolate the valves on the filter.
Here. Yep, yeah. I just click here and I put these in a bucket, and then I start breaking the unit down. Which, if you want, I could do that real quick. So, you may break it down, or no? You may leave it to it. I could do that. Let me get my bucket.
Okay. I'm going to charge my phone to do this. Has anybody got any questions on this unit? Has anybody seen it before and wondering what it's for? Mike Crew 7, let's go, George. Wolf points. What does that mean? What does wolf points mean?
I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to find out.
So here we go. George is disconnecting.
Am I? Oh, okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
So it's a really simple process. But as I said, it's a great way of cleaning.
It actually almost all drained out too. So.
Yeah, you're draining that into the bucket.
And this comes right off.
Ooh. There we go.
I know my camera's not the best spot to see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to. That's it. Just pushes on. That's it.
We're just perfect. Yeah, we lost you a little bit there, I think, because of your Wi-Fi, but that's okay.
Yeah, I haven't turned the boiler off. By the way,
that's
the boiler's still running.
Literally.
What was that?
Yeah. So the boiler's still running. The system water is still flowing throughout the whole process. Can you use that on boilers monologue systems?
Monoflow? You mean monoflow?
Thermal Pride. Do you mean monoflow?
Yes, especially monoflow.
Okay.
Especially monoflow. And the second question was I guess Desi. My house. So my house, you saw what it has. I have no baseboard in my house. It's actually oh wait, sorry. I have some baseboard second floor. I have a radiator in my master bathroom, and I have all radiant, and I still pick stuff up. So.
Yeah. The thing with radiant as well is you get more bacteria build up too with the temperatures being lower. So the filter can help with all of that as well. We've got 2 sections on the plastic sleeve that are for non-magnetic debris. So yeah, it's great for radiant systems as well, and you'll be surprised actually how quickly iron oxide can build up in those radiant systems. I mean, if in doubt, get your water test kit out, is what I say, or your testing stick.
It's breaking all apart.
Do you know what we usually run into is, so we usually exhibit at AHR, and we'll be there in January in case you want to stop by our booth. We actually have a live working demo unit, and it's just plastic pipe with brass fittings, kind of a clear version of a filter on, and just an ECM pump. And from that alone, you can start to see the magnetite kind of washing off the filter, and it starts to kind of attach itself to the plastic pipe. So it's that's just a good example of how magnetite can corrode and affect radiant systems too. You normally pipe that in the return side or supply side. This should be installed on the return side, and the reason for that is because you really want to capture that black iron oxide, the magnetite, before it gets to the boiler. The boiler is the most expensive component of the system, and that's really the piece of equipment that you want to protect. So we always advise to add it on the return. You might want to add a separator on the supply side. There's no harm in having both of them. But typically a separator is to help with air removal rather than magnetite removal. So there we go, it's all packed away in its little box.
Now where I had the lid.
Michael Flynn is in the house.
That's it.
There you go.
That's all.
And George can use that to work out with as well whilst he's,
Yeah.
on the desk.
Yeah. So do we
So
want to go
yeah,
through a
and
system
then
that don't have a filter?
yes, so you can use this unit on a system that doesn't have the filter installed yet. So you might want to clean, flush, then add the filter as a next step. Go back. So George is going to show you how to do that. It's some simple fittings that he's picked up from his supplier and put together. So here we go.
Yeah. It's just, all it is basically a boiler drain, a female adapter. Usually I have the longer ones. The ones for press are a lot longer, and all you basically is just push it in line. Push it right in.
That's how.
And I use my transfer. And I use my transfer pump and 2 hoses, and that's it. And I use my transfer pump to circulate the system. That's it. So this is a bad example. This is actually short, but the ones for the press are longer. They work perfect. So I just couldn't find one in my truck. So I just wanted to show it. Actually, this is actually 3/4 pipe thread, and 3/4 pipe, and it's perfect. It fits perfectly inside there.
And you can pick those up from pretty much
anywhere.
Plumber merchant. Okay. Anybody? Any questions? I think I've
had this kit for 3 years, right?
Say that again.
I think I've had this kit for 3 years.
Yeah, something like that. You've had it from the start.
Yeah. Yep. So it's made me a lot of money.
Very well.
You know, it works really well. You know, how much inhibitor I wasted. Probably about a gallon.
We'll replace it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll add some more. You know, just dump it out real quick. Get the hose bag.
There we go. So the hose bag is actually a separate item. It's just convenient for holding the hoses. Louis, Uncle, OG, what is the cost for the filters? So the actual filter that you can see installed now. So that one is the Pro 2, which is the 3/4 inch compression with 1 inch NPT. I do know that the Pro 2 XT, which is 1 inch compression with 1 1/4 inch NPT, that one is around, I'm going to say $200 around that price.
I think I think it's like $290 now. I think I have to look. I think it was like $2. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was like I can't remember. I gotta look at my receipt. It might be I'll post the supply house link where I can see how much it costs, because it's about the same everywhere else from there. So I think it's pretty close to that though.
Okay. And the MagnaCleanse unit itself, yeah, you might be right with around 900, George. The kitchen unit.
Yeah, no, it will pay for itself. Usually, I said it paid for itself on the first job. There was, you know, by the time I did everything on the job, it paid for itself, and basically every single time I use it, it's basically, you know, free. It's a free tool, you know. Yeah. So and it works, and it shows the customers what it's doing, and they actually see how bad the system is, how bad the system is. So
yeah, exactly. Has anybody got any questions for George? Anything at all?
We didn't show my little modification, did we?
What's that?
My bypass. I can put the pump on my system, so I don't have to use the boiler pump.
Oh yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
2 XPs. Yeah,
XP's 200. Yep. Yeah. The 2 XP. So this one's 200. So what's Flynn? What's the oh, it's only 200. Is it 200? Maybe it is. Okay.
Yeah.
The Pro 2. Maybe.
I think the Pro 2 might be about 180.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Root Plumber, I would never question anything from George. He's a god.
Yeah. But I should make sure everything works when I'm done. So this is the install me and Flintstone did together in my house. So
Louise said, next time, George, can you do a video of the whole setup? I don't know whether people were here from the beginning, but
which step? Oh, installing it, putting it together. Is what they're asking?
Yeah, maybe putting it together. We are actually we're running a training webinar on the 18th. On the 18th of November at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we can show you guys how to actually, put it all together. So keep an eye out on Instagram. We'll be promoting that and have the registration links up soon. So that'll be a good one to join. Hey, Tap Plumbing and Heating, thanks for joining us. What does 100mm PVC cost?
I have no idea.
Neither
What's
do
100mm PVC?
No.
What's 100mm? I don't even know.
Root plumbing, St. George.
Thank you, Flynn, by the way. So, Flynn's still on here. So,
I think that's all the questions so far. Anybody? What's the millimeter? Has anybody got any questions, George, on how he approaches homeowners with this? Anything at all?
Yeah, it's actually really easy. I mean, I said with the bucket purging, it's really not that hard. They see it, they're watching you. So as long as
I think that's a great thing, is that you can show the homeowner right from the very beginning, before you've even dosed the system or installed anything. You can use the water test kit or the tool to show them, what is wrong, and explain it right from the start.
What an accent. Your accent.
Are you struggling to understand me? I hope not.
Yeah. You don't understand. If I had an accent, you wouldn't understand me. You barely understand me now. So, no, but the bucket purging, I mean, it really does work a lot, So, and I have the magnet on my keychain at all times. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Oh wow, we went 45 minutes.
Matt in Texas.
Yeah. Texas, they have no heat there.
Soul chillers. These can go on chiller systems as well, Matt.
I show the homeowner how to do it, and they still call me to do it. Tap. That's the point. You want to go back every year to clean it. When you go back, I mean, it's a service charge. I know it's hard when you're a small company. It is a pain sometimes, but I try to do it. But I put on the calendar. Try to remember to go back there every year. So.
I didn't think about that, as in you guys being so busy that you don't get around to. I mean, how long? It doesn't take long to service a filter, though, does it?
No, I mean, I could do it real quick right now. Again, it doesn't take anything. It takes.
So literally.
Literally, I can walk up to the sink and drain it. Release the air. Here it goes. That's it.
Ooh. To the top off. Yeah, I mean, you don't even really have to drain the filter.
And again, more dirt.
God,
it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'm over to sink and rinse it. And
literally 2 minutes.
And test the water, obviously, at that point. So,
how much would you say a contractor can typically charge for that, going back in and?
Well, that wouldn't be the only thing I would do. So I would be part of my service. So I mean, that wouldn't just go for that. I'll be doing something else. I would check the water quality. I would make sure my boiler, make sure combustion is good still. So there'll be other things to do. So it'll be just part of my service as I'm here. I don't think I would just go out for that. There'll be other things I would do. So
okay. Louis, you leave the boiler running. The filters are isolation valves, so they come with their own isolation, so you can service the filter while the boiler is still running. And it's the same case for the MagnaCleanse unit. as well. So when it's hooked up, it's essentially just a bypass. So yeah, everything
Yeah, I
can
never turned my
remain
boiler off.
switched on.
Yeah, my switch is here, so I never turned it off because it doesn't matter. It's not gonna affect. It's not gonna affect it. So
Yeah. Big Bad Tennessee in the house.
I'm not getting any more questions. I don't know if I guess mine's froze. I don't know.
No, there's no more. There's no more
Oh, okay.
questions so far. Okay. Can we get George?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hey, George, you might even want to jump on our webinar on the 18th.
Yeah, that's fine. We could do it down here.
Yeah, well, actually, we've got Colin. We've got Colin in the new UK training facility, so he's going to have it.
Oh, nice.
All hooked up there, even though it's going to be like midnight his time. But yeah, we can have you jump on, and maybe you can show us the fittings again for when you haven't got.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll get you some videos of the next boiler purge and how I do it, so you can actually show how I actually find it. So you know, I'm going through all the questions right now. Make sure it's nothing else. Just go to the top. Tap's the last question I see. That's it. So I guess we're done.
I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any more questions. As I said, this video will be saved and we'll be sharing it far and wide, so you can look back at it if you joined a bit late. So yeah, I think that's it.
It's a good video.
I think we can leave you to it for.
Yeah, because heating season is starting. So
it is.
It's starting. So it's time. Yeah, it started for us really last week. Last week we were actually 36 tonight. Not that bad. So, but it's been pretty close. So
yeah. Yes, that's correct. It's only for boiler systems, for hydronic. So it can be for boiler, chiller, steam. That's what it's designed for.
What's the max temperature on the unit?
I've got to say that it's gonna be similar to our filters. 203.
Okay, yeah. So we can't put on a steam boiler that has a loop. That would definitely be bad.
Okay. Well, you can put it on the condensate receiver.
No, we have some steam units that we use that we put a baseboard loop off. So I wonder if that would help, but that might be bad. Those systems are dirty. So
usually on a steam return, though, the temperature isn't as hot, so it should be okay on. No worries, Louis. This is the whole point. We're trying to educate everybody. It's a relatively new technology, so it's pretty new to a lot of people. So honestly, fire away with any questions at all. You're trying it in steam, Mike? Yeah, so the DRX is a better filter for steam, but that's on the commercial side. So that comes in 2, 3, and 4 inch. It's just a great filter because it's essentially got no moving parts, but you can install it vertically, horizontally, side stream. So it's got an air vent at one end and a drain point at the other. So as long as the drain point is always at the bottom, it doesn't matter which direction it's installed in, which is really handy. Any more questions?
I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done as well.
Yep. Everybody, thank you. Have a nice night. I'm gonna go pack up.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks, George. That was
not a problem.
No, that was really great. I think we got quite a bit of interest tonight. So yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. and enjoy the rest of your evenings. Cheers, George.
See you later. Thank you. What happened? That was me.
So this regular mag filter can be used on steam. On the steam condensate return where the temperature isn't as high. So the residential filters have a max working temperature of 2 or 3 degrees F. The commercial filters, it's 212. If you want more information, Tap, we can message you after this, actually. No problemo. All right.
All right. Have a nice
All
night.
right. Cheers, George.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
bye.
Bye.